In this tutorial, we're going to explore the impact and the influence of using the Agile PM plugin tool that we're calling the Quality Agreement. As we mentioned also in previous tutorials such as Series 5 around the clarifying success with the sponsor, you should have this initial meeting with the sponsor brief. This is the perfect time if you get a chance to bring out the Quality Agreement, which again is just the list of the 10 quality attributes, and ask the simple question, which of these are you prepared to pay for? That's the simplest way to use it. There's an alternative way of using the Quality Agreement, which is not to go to the default of letting the sponsor choose by him or herself, but by looking at your critical stakeholders as well and asking them their view on what quality matters. And you can do that via a simple voting system where if 5 out of 6 critical stakeholders want efficiency as an attribute, then it's default on for everyone. We've also used things where you give people 10 stickers and they actually place the stickers against the attributes. So if they put all their 10 stickers against one attribute, you know what really matters to them. But that comes back to the bigger question, which we'll talk about as well later, that sponsors ultimately own projects, and the simplest way to use the Quality Agreement tool is to simply let the sponsor choose and then validate that with other critical stakeholders. So that's the first thing. Once you've done that, you've now got the definition of what quality means in this project for the sponsor. This also gives you the way of quantifying the quality slider that we talked about in tutorial series 5. If it's off, that means simply conformity. The only one of the attributes, conformity, matters to the sponsor. As they want more and more attributes to be included in their solution, you're moving the quality slider further and further up. Fully on means all 10 attributes are required, which I've never seen. It would probably be way too expensive for anyone to consider. So that's the first implication of using the Quality Agreement. You've now got a conversation with your sponsor and critical stakeholders about quality. That then means that you've now got something else to track. So during the project, you've got to be monitoring a couple of things. First of all, how are you going against those mandatory quality attributes that the sponsor requires? Are you still on track to meet those? The second thing you're looking out for, which is very different to the way most people normally track projects, has there been a change in those Quality Agreement requirements? A classic example that I saw was that at the beginning of the project, the sponsor said, I don't want job impact on. We're going to buy this package. We're simply going to deploy it, and everyone will have to work around what that package requires them to do. In other words, job impact was off. In the middle of the project, it became really clear from feedback to the project manager that many of the stakeholders weren't happy about this, and without informing the sponsor, the project manager started modifying the package to mitigate some of the job impact. When this was discovered, the net impact of changing that job impact from off to on was in effect a doubling of the cost of the project. It went from $4 million to $8 million. So that leads to a really important tracking thing. Not are you green on all the attributes that are mandatory, but are people changing which ones are on and off? A major change in the project. That also implies, by the way, that there's an impact on estimation, which we're going to pick up in the estimation series. Some of these attributes are really expensive. Efficiency, portability, as I talked about in the previous tutorial. These attributes are very expensive to add to a project. The sponsor has every right to require them, but of course you need to now adjust your estimates both in time and cost, and also in some cases the type of team members you need to make sure that you actually meet and conform to that requirement. So there's an impact on estimation. The other implication of the quality agreement is that it totally informs what your quality control and quality management processes are. So rather than just some generic approach, which too many people use, where they talk about quality management, quality control, and literally just have checkpoints, where all these deliverables there at this particular checkpoint in a project life cycle, which simply is checking is the process being done. What the quality agreement enables you to do is target your quality assurance and quality control process. So rather than just saying, have we delivered all the right deliverables, you're actually saying, does this deliverable meet those 5 mandatory requirements that we want? So using the quality agreement can completely refocus and sharpen the intent of quality assurance and quality control and quality management. The quality agreement has almost as big an impact on the project management lifecycle as the whole of life model we talked about in video series 3. Welcome to the quality agreement.